an internet historian video I have not seen called Too Fancy, Too Furious. Wine.
Come here, little fella. I want to tell you a secret. I'm just like you. We're both down here in the dirt. Mine just happens to be imported. You are fighting in traffic, and I am fighting charges of trafficking. We're so similar.
Tomato.
You're working a 9-to-5 job, and I am having to look at that. We're both going through it. So don't hate me. I'm not the problem. It's the wine snobs. They're the ones that look down on you.
Gotta change
And
my
frankly,
outfit for this.
I don't blame him.
Damn. Sad.
No, he's learning. Listen, let me pull you up by your bootstraps. What if I made you my little Pygmalion? That's a reference that you wouldn't get.
I don't.
You know what? Perhaps I shall make a series of videos that will give you some sort of clue about fancy things. Yes, that's what I'll do. Something to give you just enough information to bluff your way through a fancy dinner.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did you
dude.
know that Da Vinci painted the...
I actually needed this because I was going to go to a fancy dinner with the Earl of the Duchess of Dukingham tomorrow. So, you know, this is important for me.
Mona Lisa?
Somebody had to hold open the gates for the barbarians. Why not me? So let's do it. Let's look at wine. The Mountain Dew of upper society. With wine, there is only one rule. Kill or be killed.
Whoa.
And if you want to survive the night, here are 6 things you should know about wine. To you muggles, the words on these bottles must seem like a mystery.
Pie, not no ire?
But us landlords, we,
Us
the pink
landlords,
Himalayan
Jesus
salt of
Christ.
the earth, we know what they mean. They are grape names. Look upon this grapevine. It makes grape berries. Now, there are many different species of grape berry,
Yeah.
and whatever the berry species is will determine the type of wine. This is Chardonnay, so it will make Chardonnay. Merlot grape,
This doesn't make any sense to me. I need a few more examples.
they make Merlot wine.
I don't get it. Can you give me one more?
Grape names are mostly French. Gross. But for example, in English, Pinot Noir means black pine, because it kinda looks
Okay,
like
but what kind of wine do you make out of Pinot Noir? Because I didn't get a third. I just can't understand.
a black
this without
pine
a
cone,
third
if you
example.
squint. Here's some of the other names. You can pause it. I'm busy.
Oh, okay. There
Wine
we go.
grapes are not like the kind you get at the supermarket. Those are table grapes. You can think of it kind of like the difference between cooking chocolate and regular chocolate. You can eat them,
I don't know the difference.
but they're overly sugary and kind of full of seeds and just not as nice to snack on. So the grape type is the main word on the bottle, but sometimes there are other words as well. For example, this Bourgogne. What
Yeah.
the hell is a Chablis? It's all regions. Allow me to explain.
Oh,
Through the-
yeah, so I know that there's like that fucking Champagne is an actual place, and the only real champagne comes from Champagne, you know?
Medium of song. There's Chianti and Piedmont, and also there's Burgundy. Don't forget Chablis Bordeaux. This one's from Italy, this one's from Italy, this one's from France, this one's from France, this one's from France, this one's from France. They're all from France. We're Italy. Look, the general rule is, if you see a term you don't understand, it's probably just the French or the Italians being all la-dee-da about their particular region.
True.
All right, let's move on to price. Come on, I know a place. We're here. I can tell by the name on the sign. Now, don't embarrass me, I didn't bring my ID. Fiddle-TD, look at all these bottles. So many options. Ooh, a cheeky $200 bottle.
Jesus.
And here, a $20 bottle. Now, I bet this $200 bottle tastes way better, right? Like it's got to be 10 times better than this one. That's just
highly
basic
doubt
math. Go on, though. You choose one. Oh, no. Well, it was supposed to be a trick question, but they both taste pretty similar, right? There's not some threshold that you get to where it gets more expensive, and then it tastes better, and then more expensive again, and it tastes even better.
Yeah, I think it literally is just a status symbol.
Until it gets so expensive and so incredible that it's like nothing you've ever had before. Break through the conditioning. This is just old grape juice. Now, if you're a little bi-curious about a more expensive bottle, sure, why not?
Gold letters grace the label, hand engraved by goldsmiths. Famed wine critic described the taste as mind-boggling.
But realistically, after about $60, the flavor doesn't get much better. In fact, it plateaus out and it can even go down. The
Source,
best
I made
quality
it
to
up.
price ratio is all the way over here.
That's the best kind of source.
Much lower, about $20. That's how much you should spend on a bottle of wine. Now, some people will say
that I'm putting my heart and soul into this thing. I'm making an art, a form of art. How much is that worth? How much is art worth?
about
$20.
$20.
Yeah.
But what about the Vintage? Well, look at this. A couple of cromulent slender necks. And they're the same price as well. But this one is from 2019, and this one is from 2022.
Obviously,
Well,
you go with the older one,
Surely
right?
the older one is the better one.
That's right
right? No.
What?
Many people think that the wine aging goes like this, and the flavor just keeps getting better over time.
That's what I said.
The wine at the store has already been aged at the winery. I don't need to be more aged by sitting on this shelf and just collecting dust, or spending years at the back of your pantry at home. If I'm for sale, I'm ready to be consumed. I'm ready to have your hot lips wrapped around me. In fact, the general rule goes a corked bottle should be drunk within 5 years, and a capped bottle within 1 year.
Really?
Come, there's more. Let's pretend I am a waiter at a restaurant.
There is a bottle of wine that they found at the bottom of the ocean that was like hundreds of years old, and people have actually drank it and said it tastes fucking awful.
You happen to be wearing a shirt, and so I have mistaken you as a paying customer. As a waiter, the first thing I will press you about will be food pairings. White wine with fish? A Merlot with pork? Well, kid, I'm gonna have to pair this truth nugget with something you don't want to hear. The food pairing doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I
It's
assumed as
all
much.
completely subjective.
Yeah.
It's cuisine by horoscope. It's food astrology.
Oh god.
Pay no attention to the sommeliers in the comment section. They are bullshitting to upsell.
Get the more expensive one. It goes better with the spaghetti.
Or they are a Pisces and you shouldn't trust their opinion anyway. Something else to expect at a restaurant?
You know what? I was thinking that he was looking like a Pisces to me.
Expect to get ripped off by the markup. Most restaurants add a 250 to 300% markup on their wine. And the cheaper the bottle, the higher the proportional markup tends to be.
What?
So a $20 bottle will turn into an $80 bottle.
What?
But a $100 bottle
Holy
may only
shit.
rise to $150.
That's absolutely insane. What the fuck is wrong with restaurants?
Most people get the second cheapest bottle on the menu,
Yeah.
regardless of the pairing, and that'll do just fine. And that's it. No more tips. Unless you want to leave me one. Oh? Actually, you know what? I got a fucking tip for you, mate. Ad time.
I don't believe in tipping. I mean, I do tip because you have to, but tipping is such bullshit. Like, paying the wages of an employee because the owner of the establishment is too cheap to do so himself. And everybody wants to argue, oh, well, how would we have restaurants if we didn't have tipping? You wouldn't be able to afford to have waiters and waitresses. It's like, first of all, if you can't afford to run a business, you don't deserve to have a business. If you can't afford to pay your employees, you don't deserve to have a business. That's rule number one. Rule number two that I think about is like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that America is the only place in the world that has restaurants. And nowhere else can afford restaurants because they don't have tipping. Oh wait, that's right. Everywhere else has restaurants and not tipping. It's fucking stupid.
I bet you're wondering how I got this cog in my knee.
Dude, I am so sick of Incogni. Holy shit.
That's because I became the face of Incogni, the
Holy
service that
fuck.
helps you be forgotten on the internet. I used to be a humble florist. One day we received a shipment of forget-me-nots. But inexplicably I fell in and ate a bunch of them. I forgot everything that day. My address, my web browsing habits, where I worked, what my child's face looked like. I was supposed to pick him up from daycare, so that was kind of embarrassing. I just picked one of the kids that kind of looks like me.
Oui, monsieur.
Close enough. Have you ever signed up for some dodgy website? Have you ever dodged up for a legitimate website and they sell all your details onto a dodgy website? That's where I come in. Incogni Man and Anona Boy.
Je ne parlerai pas.
There are data miners out there, data collectors, creating big servers all around the world. They take your name, your address, and your IP, and together they make a big profile, and that lives forever. I am here to send them annoying legal notices to tell them to fuck off. Take Steve off your database. European law this, American law that. Go to incogni.com/internet story to get 60% off an annual plan. The cog signal. I swoop into the data
into that
centers.
data.
Legal notice. Tangle up their processes with admin. Who are you? I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Inganokni Nam. Go to incogni.com/internet historian. Ah, Incogni Man. Remember me? Yes. No. Who's the kid?
Je suis très affamé, monsieur, s'il vous plaît.
Whoa, that's a good deal.
He brought in the
over.
Nordman even though he's
Welcome
not even
to the
sponsored by
Wine
Nord.
Underground.
Oh my god.
We have our meetings here because it stays at a very pleasant temperature. You know, us wine masons, we control everything. We are few, but many. That doesn't make sense. Look at the back of this bottle. See the No Fat Chicks logo? We put that there. It is the symbol of our organization.
Oh my god.
We have a dirty finger in every glass of government and corporation stuff. If you cross us, whoops, perhaps you'll have a little accident. Last year, Little Upstart tried to make wine actually taste good. You know, like how grape soda does. Cut him up so good he had to get stitches. We caught one reporter trying to dig around into our operations. We all know how that one ended. With an airstrike. All right, my little juice box. I'm going to let you in on a secret.
Oh my
Why
God.
is champagne called champagne?
know.
Well, I'll tell you. It all began in 1668. In the Abbey of St. Peter in northeast France, there's something spooky going on. It's springtime, and in the cellar where they keep all the wine, bottles would suddenly
Of course it was France,
Unexpected.
yeah. Of course.
explode. Now, this was especially common during morning mass. Ho ho, that's a bad omen. Sometimes the explosions would cause little chain reactions, and bottle after bottle would break down the line, ruining the majority of the crop. The peasants were frightened and also parched.
Sacre Bleu, les wine. What is happening?
The monks would refer to this as the devil's wine.
Les wine is cursed.
Le God, he must be anger at us. We need a hero.
In walks Dom Perignon. He is just the man for the job. A Benedictine monk at the abbey, he's got a new role, the cellar master. And it's his mission to find out what the hell is going on here.
What a job that
So
must
Don
have been.
starts looking at all the bottles.
You
and
work
what he
at a
figures
church
out
and your
pretty
job
quickly
is to like just make sure the wine is good.
is that the wine itself is releasing gas. The gas builds up pressure and... why that is happening, he doesn't know. But it's his job to stop it. So he gets to work, trying all sorts of things to stop his mortal enemy. the bubbles. In the first year, he tried insisting that only the youngest grapes be picked.
A man at war with bubbles, dude. Fuck, man. This is a SpongeBob episode if I ever saw one.
Perhaps this will stop your bubbles.
And it didn't. The next year, he changed up how the grapes were pressed.
Push harder, we'll squeeze out the bubbles.
Son of a bitch. He tried picking the grapes very early in the morning and no other time. Nope. And on. The bubbles would win the battle every year. For 8 long years, he tried all sorts of different things. And no strategy worked.
Damn.
No, the bubbles. Eventually, he was at the point of almost giving up. Until one day, hey, what if the wine is still fermenting? So he takes a couple of the bottles and he opens them and, it is. We ferment the wine. Once it's done, it goes into the bottle. How does it then start fermenting again? How is that possible?
Yo, what did
and
he try?
here the mystery was solved. So it turns out, in North France, they have very fast-changing seasons. And owing to that, the yeast doesn't actually get time to do its job. Instead, it would get cold very quickly in the
hear
winter,
shit talking
and all
about
the
France,
yeast would
I'm
go
back.
dormant.
Oh yeah, we're watching a video about wine.
Then the winemakers would go, oh brilliant, fermentation slowed down, it must be done. They would then bottle it, and they would store it. But once summer came back around, the process would spring back to life. And
Wait, so you telling me that these guys were just stupid? And that's what it was? I get
carbon
that.
dioxide would build up
That's
and...
noble. By help, I mean open the door.
He thinks, I cannot change the climate. Perhaps I shall not win the war against the bubbles. Now, the bubbles are his enemy, and he has another enemy. The English. Therefore, the enemy
normal enemy of something.
of his enemy or something. Anyway, he starts talking to the English, and he goes, hey, how do you guys stop your bottles from exploding? And the British go,
You what, mate? Core! Well, peep at how thin the bloody glass be in it. Thin glass is the problem. Thank you for using this text-to-speech preview. For a paid version, please go to...
See, the English have created new coal-fired bottles with much thicker glass. Then they put a cork in the top, and it allows them to make very foamy beer. That's right, he could just use thicker bottles, and he won't have to worry about stopping the bubbles at all.
So they were literally just being too cheap. So let me get this straight. The reason that the French couldn't figure out their wine is because they were too cheap and stupid.
So Dom goes running back to France. He's panting, he's sweating, and there's...
I mean, this is the internet historian's words, not mine, by the way. This is his words, not mine.
bits of brie on his shirt. He's going, better bottles, better bottles. Everyone's confused and terrified, but they give it a shot. And there it was. The people of France loved it.
I love this new style.
Even the French royals were enjoying new wine, TM. He even started adding extra yeast and sugar to really get the bubbles going. And so Dom Perignon had created what we call today champagne. Now, there's a 19th century marketing campaign that says the moment he
the biggest bridge in France was engineered by an Englishman, and I've said, you know, Englishmen show them the way. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like everybody wants to talk the shit on the English until you have a bridge that needs repaired or some wine that needs to be made, you know, and then it's like, or just literally anything that needs to be innovated ever, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, British people, could you actually help us? Like,
uncorked his
we can't figure it out.
Champagne for the first time. He tried it and said, come quickly, I am tasting the stars. But that's actually a myth. He never really said that.
Oh,
but
busted.
There's still a problem. And this one, Dom cannot fix.
It's due to the rain. We spend 90% of our time just inside thinking.
If you bottle wine while it's still fermenting, so that you can keep the bubbles in, you're also trapping in a bunch of dead yeast and debris and gross particles too. Also, it's all cloudy. No, we want it clear. We want it crystal looking. How will we ever solve this problem? Dom dies. 1805. In walks Madame Curie. She's just the man for the job.
I'm also French.
I have come to remove all the little beats. I will clench my teeth together and go
Oh, those are red.
pitu-pitu back into the bottle.
Oh,
Now,
no.
Madame Clicquot was a very shrewd lady.
Oh,
Her
no.
husband died when she was in her early 20s,
My husband is dead. Lol.
and part of the estate she was bequeathed included a winery. She immediately got to work, making it into a successful business.
I shall invent a process called lay riddling.
Here's what you do, right?
like
You put
her.
these bottles on a rack at a 35-degree angle with the top facing down. Every 2 days, she would give the bottle a little shake and slightly increase the angle. After 8 to 10 weeks, all of the sediment would come to rest in the neck of the bottle. All right, quick tangent. Did you know that when you increase the salt concentration in water, you can drop its temperature down much lower without it freezing? Tangent over. So she takes this sub-zero salt water and dips the neck of the bottle in there, then lets it sit until the neck freezes. Now you have a sort of frozen cork filled with all of the gross pulp, and then you simply pop off the top. And the whole thing goes shooting out as a fun prank for your friends and family. Then they add in a little more extra base wine and sugar and leave it to age. And with that,
crazy.
Clicquot has just created a clear, sparkling wine. And that is Ridley. And Madame Clicquot is...
The Riddler.
How did she figure that out, dude? What the hell?
So Dom Perignon and Madame Clicquot are both credited as the godfather and godmother of champagne. Today,
OP
the
as
Dom and
fuck.
Clique brands are owned by LVMH, the same parent company that owns Louis Vuitton, Tag Heuer, Tiffany & Co., Hennessy. Actually, pretty much every luxury brand. But why
well.
is it called champagne?
How
Well, that's
much
because it
wine
comes
you
from the
have to drink
Champagne
to figure
region,
that
you
out?
dummy.
Yeah.
And anything else with bubbles is just sparkling
oh my God,
wine.
She must have been a trooper for real.
Oh, it's you. I was just looking out over the sunset. You know how it is. Thinking about stuff that happened in the past.
Feel it?
I remember it all too well. It was literally 1984. I was walking home with my parents from the opera.
Come on, keep up. We're nearly there.
Hey, let's take a little shortcut, they said.
We can cut through here.
We were walking down a well-lit alleyway. It was nothing but quaint restaurants and bistros. Then suddenly, a man holding a bottle of Shiraz came out of nowhere. "Just a tipple," he said. I was terrified. I knew nothing about wine. "Go on," he said. My hands were shaking, knees weak, arms heavy. Complex aroma, wouldn't you say? Ooh, very good tannins. Oh, really? Yep. What's a tannin? I don't know. My parents died from embarrassment.
No mom
right
spaghetti.
there
I
on
was
the spot.
expecting that for real. Did you know? Did you know that Eminem has a restaurant called Mom's Spaghetti?
Sorry, Daddy.
Just a tipple. It's too late for me, but I don't want the same thing to happen to you. That's why we have to learn about how to serve wine.
Ah, yes, it makes sense. So we don't die in Crime Alley. With
So
our
you've
parents.
bought a bottle of
What a
wine to
legend,
show your
for
friends
real.
and family how successful and sophisticated you are. Did you know that Da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa? So let's go through how to serve the big three. White, red, and champagne. Let's say you've bought champagne.
That's such a great
That bottle
video.
goes in the fridge. Champagne is served cold always. To open, peel off the foil and do not aim it at your face. Then
How to
twist
serve
off the
wine,
metal
open
thing.
wine,
If you want
set it
people
on
to
a
think
random
you're
doorstep
fancy,
and
use the
drink, or
proper
sit on a
word.
random doorstep and drink
Muselin.
until the next day when you wake
It
up.
helps to contain the pressure.
True, yeah, that is true. Covered in a brown paper bag, you know, wear a hat that's too long and slightly lumpy, and a patchwork vest.
Again, don't aim this thing at your face. It's really worth repeating. The PSI inside a champagne bottle is 70 to 90. That puts it in the same league as a nail gun.
What the fuck? No way. You don't do that? Holy shit, dude.
The cork comes out at about 50 miles an hour. And if you're in a house, you want to hold onto it very firmly with your hand. If you're Bezos, or you just won the Grand Prix, fling it over some ladies. But if you want to be
so
really
sad.
fancy, you can use a sword. This has been a tradition for a couple hundred years, popularized by Napoleon. After each victory, the army would use their sabers to crack one open for the boys. But the sword's just ceremonial. You can use pretty much any blunt object to knock off the top. A phone, a shoe, this fish head. If it's cold, it shouldn't fizz over too much, but you might want to have someone on the side with a ready glass. The glass type should
Possibly
either be
hot take, wine tastes like vinegar. I don't really like the taste of wine, to be honest.
a tulip or a flute. Although, if you've seen The Great Gatsby, you may notice that they use these. Up until the mid-1900s, people used coupes. That's because, back in the day, excessive effervescence wasn't very cool. So these cups helped actually dispel the bubbles faster. In fact, sometimes they'd even use a small whisk or a fork to dissipate all the bubbles. Now, there's actually an old myth that the shape and size of the coupe was molded from one of Marie Antoinette's boobos. But it's probably not true. Eventually, bubbles became a fancy feature, so the flute was adopted.
Dude, what the fuck?
They can be made from glass, but preferably they're made from crystal,
I
so that they
suddenly like
shimmer
wine,
as much
too.
as
Yeah, me
possible.
too. Oh,
And
yeah,
the best
wine's
flutes
tight.
would also feature a small rough spot right there at the center of the glass at the bottom to create a sort of tornado of bubbles.
So
Anyway.
what, is that shaped after Don Perigno's dick? Like, what are we doing here?
As you pour,
Anyways.
tilt sideways so it isn't all head, and don't pour more than 2/3 full. Done. White wine. White wine is best served chilled too. 10 to 15 degrees though, not fridge cold. Use a small glass bowl and pour to about
See,
half
he
full.
said 10 to 15 degrees, but I assume that he means Celsius, which is not a real measurement. It's not in freedom units, so I don't understand what he's talking about.
And when you drink, do a little sniff test and, aerate it a bit. Then hold it down low on the stem so your hands don't heat up the liquid. If it's not to your taste, cut it with 50% Sprite and add a few ice cubes. Done. Reds. Red wine is not chilled. It is served at room temperature. When you first open it, you're supposed to let it sit for a while to oxidize.
Why?
That gives it more flavor. Although if you don't want to wait, you can just pour it into a decanter. That does the same thing. To drink from, we want a big bowl on a stick, so you get a full face of the aromas of the grape blood. When you pour the thing, fill it about 1/3 full. That's pretty much it. However, when it comes to wine snobbery, red wine snobbery is at the top of the Maslow hierarchy.
Crushed white rock. It's like almost like a rock quarry.
Oh my god, shut up. And there's a taste testing thing that people do, and they all go a bit mental, and it's kind of
I've
gross.
heard about this whole taste testing, smelling sommelier thing, and how it's just all fucking bullshit, and they're all full of shit. That's what I understand about it.
And it looks dumb. But if you think you're ready for the ultimate test, ready to take the one-chip challenge of e-knowledge.
Red wine is slightly nicer, still tastes like shit though. This bro's try hard.
Then here's how you do it. When the waiter comes over, insist on taking a teensy sample. Inspect for color,
pour like
clarity,
water, hell yeah.
and legs. Legs refers to how viscous the wine is.
Drink it the
Smell
same.
it. Smells like a red wine. Swirl it around on the table, making a loud scratching noise, so that everyone knows you're a connoisseur.
Swirling the wine glass is almost like turning up the volume on the stereo.
When you taste it,
Oh my
you'll
god, oh Jesus Christ. You can just feel the smugness radiating off of that statement. Holy crap.
supposed to get it over every part of your mouth, so that when you
That's horrifying, dude. You're fucking swishing around wine in your mouth. It's not fucking mouthwash. What the fuck is wrong with these people? You move her mouth like, yeah, she's like chewing the wine. What the hell? Do these people not realize that they look stupid as like the dumbest people in the world? They just look like absolute jokes.
Brush your teeth later, it's awful. Then take in big sips of air.
What?
This is where you
What
comment
the
on the
fuck?
texture and taste. Complex notes! You yell.
It's like you're not drinking Mountain Dew. You're not even gonna enjoy it anyway. So like, just fucking get it down, you know?
Across the room. Now this is the best part. You
It's just rich people NFTs. Yeah,
can just
yeah. it's
make
real.
shit up about vanilla smatterings or citrusy undercurrents. I swear, there's a hint of blueberry. It's one of those things that's kinda true, but subjective enough that no one can really refute you. So make a big show of it.
There is a little bit of an earthiness, almost a graphite clay note to this.
It's a little bit meaty. It's a little bit sort of rustic.
Why the fuck would you want to taste a drink that tastes like graphite? Oh yeah, hey man, I'm going out for a drink later. What are you going for? You got anything that tastes like a fucking number 2 pencil? What?
Definitely hints here of Monster Ultra sugar-free. If this is a taste test and you're sampling dozens of wines, you want to spit out the sample into this gross bucket.
I own an 1869 that was cummed on by Napoleon's brother. Oh my god, he was having a blast. Oh man.
So you don't get too drunk. Do not ask the waiter if you can drink from the bucket. It's the waiter's privilege, and he's very protective of it. And that is how to serve wine.
The fact, yeah, did they say he spits? Yeah, so most fancy wine drinkers, that's the thing that really fucks me up. They don't even drink the wine. They do all that swirling around in their mouth and all that fucking weird rat skaven bullshit, and then they spit it into a bucket like a absolute monster animal fucking weird crab person, dude. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. You know, like, get your bird seed, get out in the yard and start throwing some shit, because you need to get your life together. Like, for real. They don't want to get drunk, but they're drinking alcohol. Yeah, like, why? Yeah, exactly. What the fuck?
Okay, that's a lot of shitting
Why
on
I
wine.
drink like water.
And we shouldn't get bullied.
But let me do a quick 180. Because overall,
That was a quick 180.
wine is good. And a little wine snobbery can be good also. Being into wine is one of the great dad hobbies. One day you will have a model train set in your basement, complete with a little walking path and the grass just right. The best part about this hobby is building the thing, getting it just perfect, and then making people sit there while you explain the little trains in excruciating detail of how they work. Now the fun of Warhammer, that's when you save up for the little space marine man, you take him out of the packet, you put on a podcast with some Warhammer in the background,
Of all the Primarchs, Horus is the best kisser.
and you slowly paint it yourself. And then you argue with your mates later about why the Necrophiles are the best race. There are people that spend like tens of thousands of dollars on coffee machines and equipment. And then it takes like an hour to make a coffee, and it's like only 5% better maybe than the ones you get at the cafe. Now I could be Mr. Killjoy and come in and go, what's the point of that? Why not just buy it from the cafe? Why not just get a pre-painted Space Marine? Why not have someone else just install the train set? But then there's no ceremony, there's no fun, there's no hobby. Wine is very similar. They're getting a little bit too obsessive about the thing, and being like,
some lemon zest as well, lemon pith. Super tangy.
How many different types of lemon do you need to mention? What the fuck?
is the purpose of wine. It's the fun of wine, which is why wine is better than just some old grape juice. And you fucking wine loser snobs, you know what? You're all right.
Call them fucking wine loser snobs, hell yeah.